4.
Is that about the stuff earlier?
Yeah.
He did it. Bah! He came in with 20 seconds to spare.
That's what's up.
I mean,
He's not even percolating.
No.
Why should I be? Don't sweat the details, man.
Yeah.
Don't get
He's
done.
like, plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
So welcome. Cool. Cliff, you missed last one. You were out at E3.
Yep. I think I'm still tired.
Yeah.
Well, I did E3 and then I did Universal Studios with the family over in Hollywood, and it was like 9,000 degrees in Southern California as well, so it was rough.
Yep.
But it was fun.
That's cool. So welcome back.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
So we have the show a little bit earlier this week, if you guys are wondering. It's a holiday weekend.
It's America!
Yeah, we are observing Independence Day on Friday, which is when we usually do the streams, and we have some people out, so we're just
encouraging employees to go to the damn coast here, because it's lovely. Except for the shark
attacks.
attacks.
I was just about to say, do not get bit by a shark.
Do not get eaten by a shark.
It's like 6 shark attacks the last 2 weeks.
Sharks are hungry these days.
I mean, you're like, you're fine. Nope. Sharks are pissed.
Hanging out.
Spazid Russ just noticed. He says, Doof, best beer. I put it on upside down. Thank you.
Well, speaking of which, I had Duff beer at Universal, and I can confirm it tastes like shit.
Wow.
There we go.
Nice.
Exclusive.
Yes, there you go.
So we got a lot going on today. We got a couple videos for you guys to check out. A sneak peek at our behind-the-scenes series that we're going to be doing very, very soon. A weird video that has nothing to do with anything whatsoever.
From you?
Yeah, I know, right? Go figure. We're going to take a look at a brand new weapon, too. Matt Fischman is going to join us in a little bit, and he's going to talk about a few things that he's been working on. He's one of our gameplay programmers. And yeah, so let's just get started.
Absolutely. It's weird. It feels like a Friday, but it's not.
I know.
It's Tuesday. I don't know.
It is weird.
I'm all thrown off.
So, industry Bulljive this week.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap. I think we've all been playing Batman.
Have you been playing it?
I've been playing it.
It's excellent. I'm loving it every second.
First and foremost, they hit the ground running. Like, the game just starts, boom, it's got this little mini interactive cutscene, you don't want to spoil anything, and then, boom, like 10 minutes later, you're in the Batmobile, and you're zipping across the city, and there's, like, objectives, and the story's going, and there's very little cutscenes. Any cutscenes that are there, you can kind of rotate around Batman. Look at how good the cape looks. I think it's fucking awesome.
What is he?
Are you
what
good?
is the smirk?
Oh, man.
Here it comes.
So how far are you? How much was the percentage?
About 2 hours in.
Percentage on the game.
Right at the tail end of the, what do you call it, chemicals?
Ace
chemicals.
So you're like 9%.
Yeah, I'm still relatively early.
Yeah. So I'm like 13-14% in.
Mm-hmm. What are you getting hung up on?
I'm not getting hung up on anything. It's just that the tanks, dude.
Too many tanks?
Dude, I was trying to calculate in my mind. This dude spent trillions of dollars.
And they go out of their way, by the way, to point out, like, the first time you encounter one of the jets during one of the tank sequences, it's like, oh, it's automated. He's not actually in there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's a drone,
okay.
yes.
Like, they're having to deal with Batman not actually killing anybody, although, giving
God.
them life-threatening injuries to their skull and spine is okay.
God, dude.
Right?
Trillions of dollars of merchandise.
Somebody's got to make Bruce Wayne look like the pauper he is.
Dude, he makes Bruce Wayne look like a basket case, like a welfare case, dude.
Yeah, that's a lot of military hardware right there.
Dude, so much.
That's like the United States government going after him.
And it's like, what happened to the United States government?
Yeah, right?
They always
evacuate the whole city.
When you get to a military level...
They don't want anything to do with Gotham, man. That place is an insurance liability across the board.
It's like Al Qaeda just rolled up into Charlotte and just took over, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, we're not even touching that.
Well, they got Batman.
We'll let Batman and his
Batman will handle it. But yeah, I'm actually having fun. I like because I played all 3 of them, and I like the new fighting system where they actually added some stuff. Remember Splinter Cell Conviction? You remember that? Where they had context sensitive attacks and stuff. Exactly. So if you were near something, it would actually do something different with
the Batmobile takedowns are cool too. Where he fires it up and it fires a non-lethal round.
Yes, of course. You notice like people bounce off you, they get stunned.
Oh yeah.
When the people on the street
to
the Batmobile,
because I'm just power sliding through them all.
You just like fly off.
Bat donuts, baby. That's what it's all about. That's all they need. The ad should just say Arkham Knight. bad donuts.
I know, dude. The Batmobile is crazy.
No,
I love the design.
So
you said it was your favorite, right?
Yeah, it's just.
I love the way when it comes in, like especially when you're jumping out of Ace Chemicals and like it swings around and just goes right in the hubcap and shows just the logo. Like,
it's the definition of slick. Like, I mean, they really they nailed it. And Arkham Asylum, in my opinion, is probably the closest thing to a perfect game. In my opinion, I think it is. Yeah. I thought Arkham City was kind of a step back because it was too big.
I thought City was a step back too. Yeah.
But this is, they kind of reel it in. You get the allure of this great city, but you get the detail of Arkham Asylum.
It zooms out. Like, he'll be there on the comm, and then you'll see the cowl, the cape, all the rain dripping off. He throws the batarang out just all the way out the entire. And you don't see any LEDs popping. You don't see any dumb shit. I'm like, I don't know how they got Unreal Engine to do this. Like, they did a fantastic job.
Rocksteady does Unreal like nobody.
Yeah.
So I guess this is a good segue here. So the other aspect of this is WB pulling Batman from PC because of the port and because of
I'm playing it on the PC. I don't see any problem.
Which I think that is an interesting perspective.
No, not one.
Yeah, everybody anytime I tweet about the game being like, yeah, but the PC version sucks.
Well, what did it is it performance?
There's just a multitude of issues that cause them to basically pull it.
I mean, that is a huge statement to say, all right, we're going to pull it until it's fixed.
Yeah, I haven't had any problems.
You don't have any problems at all.
Not one. And I've got everything turned on too.
Huh.
Like all the NVIDIA stuff, the whole shebang.
But again, as much as we're on PC now, and I do love the PC and coming back to it's good. It's there's so many different configurations across so many different PCs, across so many different drivers and setups that you're bound to have a certain percentage that are gonna have trouble. So you got to adjust to that really, really quick. My gut says I don't think Rocksteady did the PC version. I think Rocksteady probably did the console ones, and then somebody else, they farmed it out or whatever. And I think whoever farmed it out probably just kind of screwed the pooch on it.
Yeah, I think
somebody made mention to that. Like somebody said, our
I'm going to ask the chat here if anybody in the chat knows who did the port. Please let us know. We're curious.
But yeah, I'm not having any problems.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's
what I like how I heard talking to various friends who shall not be named that when they were showing this Batmobile at E3, not this year but the previous year, the people over at Warner Brothers doing Batman versus Superman and Suicide Squad were all weird about it because they wanted their Batmobile there. There's this weird sub-fraction of movie Batman versus game Batman fighting. But
I think this Batmobile kills every Batmobile, even a Tumbler.
Yeah. No, I think it's excellent. So a lot of people, Dragon Ninja, Celtic, Netty, and Atlan TK say Iron Galaxy is the studio that did the port.
I never heard of it.
So if we ever put our game on console, I'm sure we'll use them. But yeah, even Penguin's got the little glass stuck in his eyeball.
Yeah, he's had
character design, man.
I think he's had that since the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the series.
Harley Quinn needs not Harley Quinn. Poison Ivy needs to find some pants.
Oh yeah,
she doesn't give a damn, dude. She don't care.
She doesn't. I just love the sticking the people in the back of the Batmobile.
Yes,
it's a little goofy. It's kind of it's like assuming everybody's 5'9". What if is there anybody is Woody Bane fit in there?
Yeah, Croc can't fit in there.
Exactly.
You just gotta get lucky.
The seats probably unfold and shit, and stuff them in with fucking shoehorn.
Did you get to the Gordon part where you gotta follow Gordon?
Oh, dude, I'm like 60% through it. I'm almost done.
Oh, okay.
So
you have to. They just say you have to chase Gordon and keep the bad guys off of him, and then you get all the bad guys off of him, and he's like, maybe you should get in the Batmobile. I'm like, motherfucker, you should have gotten the Batmobile first. Why would you ever?
They wouldn't have had that gameplay sequence.
It's so good.
One line is we can't slow down right now, or something that would have solved that. Again, I talked a little bit about this in Camille's podcast. This comes out of my new appreciation for Batman from the Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo Batman through rereading Killing Joke and all the Frank Miller stuff. It's when Oracle comes out in the wheelchair, and I'm like, wait, is that Barbara Gordon? And okay, it all ties together with Killing Joke and how Joker paralyzed her and everything. So and I feel like I'm increasingly becoming part of the Bat Club by not just watching the Batman movies and digging into more of the canon. This is part of the beauty of a property that's been around for 75 some odd years, that there's so much there that you can just that's the one, and I can be that guy. That's actually what happened in the Killing Joke if you actually read it.
There's enough there for fan service.
Yes.
It appeals to people who just want an action game or a race tank racer.
But then if they want to go deep in the canon, they can.
Totally.
I hated Harley Quinn until I read Suicide Squad. I just thought she was an annoying ass character. Now I like her.
So here's actually a question a few people are asking from chat. So is it Rocksteady's fault Like that the port is all jacked up? I mean, even though they didn't do it.
I'm looking at you in chat right now. You will never fucking know. Like, somebody screwed up on multiple levels, and whoever it was, you're not going to get the real deal. You're just going to get whatever PR spin somebody wants.
I'd say it's probably Warner Brothers if you want to blame it on anybody. But
no, I mean, I think that's totally valid.
Because, I mean, most likely they did the contract for...
Yeah, they selected the people who were going to do it, right? Yeah. The people over at Iron Galaxy or whatever were just like, oh, we just got to port somebody else's fucking game. This sucks, right? And that's the...
So, quality control. Quality control.
Yeah, should have either delayed it or not released it, apparently. Yeah. Except for your version's running great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, mine works fine. It must have just
you got the one
mine out.
Yeah, you got
ship
the
mine
one
out special or something.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who the actual Arkham Knight's identity is. This is a completely new character they made for the game?
Yeah, it's the Rocksteady created it for this game. Like it's canon.
That's strange.
That's probably the commander-in-chief.
Yeah, Ferg has some ideas on who he is.
Oh, because remember the Joker's gone.
Yeah, the whole Joker thing.
Yeah, the Joker wasn't gone in New 52 either.
You know,
yeah, that's the problem with these comic books is like ever since the death of Superman, nobody can actually freaking die.
Hey,
they just bring him back.
Just keep recycling, man.
Exactly.
So I'm enjoying it. I think we're all enjoying it.
I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, it's a great. Yeah. It's fun, man. Rocksteady, I think, just killed it again, and I think this is their last. This is it for them.
What?
I think they're owned by WB, so they do whatever WB says.
True.
I think they're going to be making bat planes
enough,
bat butt plugs till the cows come home.
Yeah, they can't quit.
All right, cool. So, totally shifting gears here. 1 year later, dude, this exact day, June 30th.
Yeah, and then 2 days later it leaked because something happened with our website or something. But yeah, this was the point where we were kind of getting everybody's interest gauged as far as talent and developers, looking for an art director, community manager, everything. And this time I basically signed the deal with Nexon, and this was locked in. Okay, this is going to happen. We were figuring out kind of a PR plan for announcing the studio, and we're 1 year in, and God, time flies. But at the same time, it's we have something that's pretty darn fun every day that we're hoping to show pretty soon. So with it, to say that within a year with any studio with something completely new is pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of it.
How come we have a cake? What happened to the celebration?
We just realized today. Somebody tweeted me on the way to work.
He's just oh yes.
I don't need any more cake, dude. I need
all
your fucking ice cream.
We need ice cream.
Ice cream cake. White cream in the kettle.
Why don't you make some cake?
Ooh, ice cream cake. That might be my next foray.
Full Renaissance man. Art directing, ice cream cake.
I might need that.
Instagram, maybe.
Tramell's Cupcake Shop.
I might need that side gig. You know.
So making some Laffy Taffy.
Something.
I mean, it's pretty crazy that a year ago, as much as we've done in that year, it's
just a reminder though that time goes fast, and the amount of features that people expect in a AAA game at launch, even if it's a free to play early access type thing, it still is a lot. So it's a lot of fun in there. We got a lot of work to do, but it's pretty awesome to come in and hear the chatter of everybody and to see what's new in the build notes and art assets finally getting implemented that I saw a little while ago in the company meeting. And all the cool animations, everything. It's really exciting.
And I know everyone's asking gameplay. We're working on it, guys, and it's coming. It's all coming online very quickly. And
Arjan was just out visiting family for a little bit, and he comes back, and before he came back, I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good about this. There's a lot of good, and then he just points out all the stuff that's broken. I'm just like, whoa! But you need that,
Yeah,
so.
Totally. All right, so congratulations, 1 year.
Yeah, thanks for joining, guys.
Absolutely, man. Thank all of you for joining this ride. It's
for being patient until we can actually show you an actual goddamn video game.
It's coming. But in the meantime, we can show you cool weapons that we're working on coming soon. Let's actually take some questions. So we asked on Twitter and Facebook and our subreddit and stuff. We got a few. We'll get to all of your Twitch questions in a little bit. But to start, Super Duper Yeah on Twitter asks, do you guys think that now is the start of the golden age for community management in the game industry?
I think that was probably about 3 years ago.
Golden age?
Yeah, well, I mean, now more than ever, I've always said community, you really need to interact and engage, right? But the key is to keep a community from getting toxic. As much of is a phenomenon in League of Legends is, I talk to a lot of people and they're like, but the community, man, I can't even. And I don't even want to go in and try it as a semi-new player. And I'm afraid I'll get yelled at for taking the wrong lane or picking the wrong hero, right? So, there's two things. There's really building a community and then there's fostering one. And they're two actual separate art forms, really.
I don't know. When you say golden age, I mean, you are referring to like now is the time that we really need to get serious about it, or like because
One
anybody
CompuService.
yeah, exactly. Well, anybody who's played MMO or a MUD or any of those games that require a bunch of people to play have experienced what true community management is from like
I think
since the days of ElfQuest
there's community and then there's community management. Right.
Yeah, I mean, so what I think the question is saying is transparency and having a dialogue with people. Because 5 years ago, I mean, I don't think it was as easy as it is now to jump on Twitter and take questions directly from people and bounce back and forth.
This is true.
Even on like Reddit has really emerged.
Well, you look, for instance, some of the film directors like James Gunn, like he will directly talk about what some of his plans for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 on his like actual Facebook fan page, and that's him himself typing it. He may double check with some of the Marvel and PR folks and everything like that, but generally speaking, you believe you're going directly to the source. And if somebody has an issue with your product now more than ever, people will just rally until it becomes this giant pitchfork mob where you have to provide some sort of an answer. And if you bullshit them, they'll come, kick down the door and stab you with the pitchforks and set your feet on fire and kill your cat.
Yeah, so what I think now more than ever, what's really great is that, and what we try to do here is create like a studio culture.
Yeah, like a vibe.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter is one of our level designers, and Jack Minhorn's one of our sound designers. Dude, they're on Twitter. If you guys want to tweet to them, go for it. Like, and I don't know a lot of studios who kind of put people out there and say, yeah, sure, like these guys are on Twitter, talk to them. Or
I mean,
join in the subreddit.
If the game's not fun and the environment's not good, they're not going to stick around here. So if I don't have anything to be afraid of and they like the game, then they'll be here. And if they get they're not, then they'll get poached, and that's the business. My thing is, it's been useful having a community built up around our subreddit and our Twitter feeds and everything, but it's also been very useful. Like, half the people we talk to, we bring on board, they're like, yeah, I've been watching your Twitch streams.
Yeah, no, totally.
Reading your social feeds. See Tyler's head popping up right there.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Tyler. Community intern. How's it going?
I love he still has the tag on the hat.
It's the style.
Exactly.
It's what the kids are doing these days.
All right. Well, we got a couple more questions to go through, so let's get to the next one here. On our subreddit from Hoi Hoi Games.
Hoi Games.
Hoi Hoi Games. And this is a good one for you, Tramell. Can you speak on the UI design and what you're aiming for? Inspirations, must-haves, versus no way in hell this is going to make it into our game.
No way in hell is always easy. But first and foremost, we're trying to make it light. It's supposed to be, easy to navigate. We're doing certain things like moving certain elements from the UI to putting it in the real world. I don't know if I want to, say specifically what those things are, but just taking some of those things off the UI so less clutter, so we can have like something that's a little bit more free and open. So I think Deus Ex has a good UI setup. Modern Warfare is great, first-person shooter.
Clean,
UI, nice,
slightly sci-fi without being full cheesy sci-fi.
It's not too much on the screen.
In a competitive first-person shooter, that stuff you want it.
Yeah, you want it open as possible.
Totally.
So, just trying to go back and figure out like how we can make things smaller and readable at the same time, and still make them jazzy and nice and fantastic and still fit within the world.
And how quickly can I navigate this to get into a game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At first glance, it needs to look like something that immediately. Like instead of like, oh, what is that icon? You don't have to learn it. You kind of like look at it and you know exactly what it is. Dude with a grenade, dude jumping fast or whatever it is. Could be random things.
Belsington from...
Jumping fast confirmed.
Jumping fast. Belsington from chat asks, will UI scale be available or set? I mean, I think it's too early, right?
Oh, in regards to upping resolution or anything?
I guess so,
it's set to the edges right now.
Yeah.
It scales basically with the resolution.
No, I think that's a good question. We have a UI guy in-house, and he was actually brought on super early in the process, right? David Rose has been a part of the project pretty much from the beginning.
Yeah,
so,
UI is incredibly important, and Dave's an incredibly hard worker, and he's kind of the help me Obi-Wan, you're my only hope with UI as far as art right now.
Now, I thought it was really wise bringing him in early rather than later, because that means you guys are going to get a much more quality UI.
Well, you got tired of working on Call of Duty, dude.
All right, cool. So let's go to the next one real quick. This one's pretty easy from Shoe37 on our subreddit. Are you guys going to have any sort of formal alpha, beta access before release.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Done deal. Next question.
Yeah. Cool. Adavax311, who
What's
is
up, Adavax?
a regular on the subreddit.
Where's Charles Broccoli?
I know. Where is Brock?
Oh.
Where is Brock?
And Bricks. Where's Bricks? This is what we get for doing this on a fucking Tuesday.
I know.
Club going up on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Adavax asks, is it too early to ask about the number of guns a character carries?
Right now, it's generally around 2. You don't really drop guns and grab them off of other people in the environments. It's generally kind of a primary and a secondary. Occasionally a person will just have one, but that gun often has multiple functions, and the potential for other verbs for people to pull off in the game kind of creates an interesting 1, 2, 3 punch when you're engaging with someone else. Is that big enough?
Yeah, no, I think that's good. Yeah, totally. Cool. So guys, thank you for asking questions. When we ask you guys on Twitter to submit, please submit. I mean, it's really an open forum, and we're more than happy to take questions and feature them in the show. So, speaking of questions, one thing that we did last week is that we asked the community a question, and then we got some feedback on it. So let's take a look, Tyler. So what we asked, what's your favorite FPS multiplayer power-up or ability? And pretty much across the board, it was all movement-based. A lot of people really enjoyed double tap dodging. Super Samurai 0987 on Twitter said double tap. Chewy, still Chewy on Twitter, said speed boosting, mobile advantages. I thought that was really surprising.
I think this ties into the fact that when you're playing a first-person game and you're looking down the barrel of the weapon or the device you're carrying, you want to flow through the world. And anytime that flow stops or is interrupted or you get hung up on a static mesh or some sort of fucked up collision, it just reduces your fun. You really just want that sense of almost the roller coaster just not stopping, right? And that's, I think, where a lot of the movement desire comes from. It could just be people of wall running and dodge tapping. I don't know.
H to the Dizzle said, recoil. Hey man, I'm just giving you guys your plugs here. H to the Dizzle said recoil reduction on emptying a high damage short clip weapon or pistol, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, we're still playing with recoil. I mean, some of our weapons are a little bit more traditional, kind of, damage over time, kind of fast-firing bullet-based, but we still have some interesting energy stuff, too.
Rich BS Gaming says quad damage. I think that concept of getting something that gives you more damage for a short window of time.
Yeah, the thing about quad damage and those kinds of games is it's basically a win button. So it's like if somebody has it, it's just like run away. And we were talking about this kind of stuff earlier. It's like when you win in TF2 and everyone else just gets chased down. Yeah. Like it's kind of this power struggle and experience or something like that. It's basically you get this and you'd have to really screw up to die. And it's fun in the right kind of game, but depending on the game you're making, it could really screw things up. So we're considering stuff like that, but it's been really interesting back and forth and not overpowering one side.
Cool. Yeah, guys, whenever we ask a question, we really do take a note of it and bring it in. So please, whenever we ask, feel free to respond. We do it both on our subreddit and on Twitter.
I mean, we really honestly read them all on the toilet.
It's a good place.
I mean, who brings a magazine there anymore? Yeah. Everyone has their phone.
You got Fallout Shelter.
Yeah. Well, my wife lets me play it. It's on her phone.
Cool. So, guys, please respond to us if we ask. We really do. We take a look at everything. So, all right. So, at this point, you're going to shuffle off and come on later to debut the new weapon.
Yes.
Okay. Right now, we're going to look at a video that has nothing to do with anything. It's just stuff here, I guess.
Ethan got Ethan.
It's Ethan being Ethan.
Ethan again.
Yep.
Keep that cube there.
So, Aaron, what's going on with that weird red-colored stain over by Ethan's old desk?
Yeah, that's what I've been kind of worried about. See, I just moved into here, and there was already a rolled-up carpet on the floor, and so I just tried to ignore it. And then everyone moved out, and it was just me remained. Then they moved that spot that was over there, and then sure enough, there's this big red blood streak. That's what I'm assuming it is.
Doesn't really ring a bell. I don't think I was bloody in the past 5 months.
There's nothing weird going on in that room. I was in that room.
Yeah, but were you there the same hours Ethan was there?
Nah, he kind of rolls in late, college student style and shit. He's probably eating Cheerios or Cocoa Pebbles in the morning and comes in late.
Because Ethan stays late.
Yeah, I do stay late.
All these carpets could be trapdoors. There could be ways in and out of here we don't know. So, I mean, I'm not pointing fingers, but Ethan was sitting there.
I'll have to take a look. Can I get a look at it? Is it clean?
See, I get in early, and then I leave 5 or 6 o'clock.
Let's go look at it.
Ethan, one of those night owls, you never know what's in here.
You're just gonna follow me all the way there? All right, you guys are making me nervous. I don't know what I did.
I don't know what he's capable of, so I don't want to point too many fingers, but you never know.
What? I didn't do that.
I'm not gonna neither confirm nor deny his serial killer status because I'm still here.
I have nothing to do with that. Unless one of my markers bled. I don't know.
When somebody comes up missing, maybe we should go see it.
I didn't murder anyone the past 5 months for sure.
Yeah, Ethan though, he's crazy, but he ain't serial killer crazy.
This is a good killing spot.
Everybody's still accounted for.
This is a good killing spot.
What else did you find?
It's a red hot.
Was that your red hot?
Oh, it's not mine.
Or is it like a pill?
I don't know how one red hot produced that amount of red. Yeah.
I think you solved your own crime here.
Yep. Obviously, it's the red hot issue.
Okay. Okay. I think we're done here.
We're done here.
Take off your glasses for me real quick.
I can't see what I'm saying.
You can talk to me. I can't see what I'm saying. I can't see what you got a little bubble above your head.
I know.
Pretty good, dude.
I didn't do this shit. I didn't kill anyone.
Sounds guilty. Look,
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't it red? It's tinted red over there.
Where do you?
Y'all are just trying to. This is a scam. This is Rohan just trying to turn me into something that I'm not. Investigative journalism, my ass. Can I go finish my art? I don't know what this is.
So Ethan is murdering people in the old art room.
We're back?
We are back.
Oh, sorry.
We're sitting here looking at the chat. Oh my god.
And then what?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying Matt comes in here to talk about what we're going to talk about, and he's like, I don't get a beer, and we're like, you got 30 seconds, you got 90 seconds to go get it. He goes gets it, and like we're not giving anybody a free ride here.
There's like a beer towel.
So yeah, it looks like you just came out of the shower in the horror movie and it's like wrapped around you. You're like, oh goodness, don't kill me, Mr. Serial Killer.
So everyone, this is Matt Fischman. He is one of our gameplay programmers.
Is that first time on here?
Yeah, first time.
Oh shit, don't be nervous.
So he,
Like
you've
he gets nervous.
You've been around since near the beginning, right?
Yeah, I started September, so it's been almost a year.
Yep.
Dang, dude. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat here. By the way, Ethan is such a great sport. He's like the nicest guy in the world. So when there was
that's what they said about Dahmer.
He's killing people in that room, though.
Well, Aaron,
He was a quiet man. He mainly kept to himself.
Aaron came up to me and he was like, "There's something going on. What is that?" And he like points over to that area, and I was like, "Oh my god, Ethan killed somebody."
But dude, like years ago, I went and visited like the main castle in Edinburgh, and there's like some old, really ancient hardwoods from like back in the day that have a stain from like when one of the kings was killed. So that shit actually happens.
So Ethan, we love you. Good job, but we're watching you. You're the nicest guy in the world. Anyway, so Matt.
Yeah.
You're on the show, and there's a reason why. Because the weapon that we're going to debut today, you have a tie to it, right?
Yeah, so fun fact is actually my first day at Boss Key, I checked in code for this weapon that we're going to reveal today.
I should have forgotten that.
Yeah, it was my first day of work, so yeah, I guess it's been kind of a long journey to get here to where we're finally revealing it.
Yeah, it's awesome, and so I guess let's go ahead and take a look at concept first, and then later with Tramell we'll hit up the actual in-game model. Boom. So there are two things here. We're looking at the one on the right, and that's the Taser Machete.
Yeah, so it started as a bit of a taser sword. I think it was somewhat the design doc was originally inspired by a somewhat famous YouTube video of some crazy son of a bitch that actually made the thing.
Was that video that got sent around the actual one?
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's like, you know, I've been known over the years for making some interesting, unique, weird, crazy-ass weapons, and, you know, something that's melee, that's a kind of combination, you know, because it's not enough to hack at somebody's limbs.
Right.
You need to electrocute them at the same time.
It's a 1-2 punch, right?
Well, yeah, so, I mean, it started off like, well, the early version of this weapon, if you remember, was one for deflecting bullets, which would prove to be a little bit too frustrating and powerful. But the other one, it was originally a sword, and then we're like, you know, let's make it even meaner.
Yeah, there used to be only one of them, and then, you know, duoed it up.
So dual taser machetes is the bona fide weapon.
Exactly, yeah. It's been a blast working on this weapon. Obviously super challenging trying to make melee in a first-person shooter that's really fast-paced like a thing.
It's really fucking hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other part of this conversation. I think that's why it's really good to have you and Cliff both on the show to talk about this. Doing melee in a first-person shooter is not easy.
Especially not when most games like treat melee as kind of a finisher, as like, you know...
Or if you're that close, just wrap it up already, right?
Exactly. But we're kind of, you know, committed to trying to make these weapons more of a play style that you can just play as and try to make it viable against, you know, enemies that have guns and stuff. So trying to make it work and trying to make it like a viable play pattern, it's hard, but I think we're very close to nailing it at this point.
I think there's other things to play with, like so generally when you play Halo and you get the energy sword, it's like you aim at them for like a couple beats, and then you get the dash into them, and at that point it's basically, if you're using a hose-based weapon, a bullet-based weapon, or energy one, they would have basically been dead. So that's the assumption right there. You earned it, right? Whereas in Call of Duty, it's get close and the one basically stab and they're done, right? So again, you know, games that do the elbow, games that do kicks, things like that. It's either I can't ever kill this person, or this thing's completely overpowered.
Right.
So it's the same thing with snipers we're having to work through, right? So I mean, do you stun the players? Like, well, I mean, there's all these techniques we can try, right?
Yeah, and we've tried pretty much all of them. For me, it really comes down to giving players tools of actually getting into melee range. That's like the first step, because actually closing the gap on dudes with guns is really hard. And then kind of addressing the chicken dance problem, which I'm sure everyone has experienced, where there's like a dude who's like right next to you in a shooter or whatever, but you don't know where he is and you're both running around.
I love what you call this a chicken dance, because I'm picturing that song in my head when normally we melee, I hear the Benny Hill music, yakety sax.
That's kind of what it feels like
People
sometimes.
spinning. At some point, just wrap it up. Right? Like, kill each other. Right?
Yeah.
So who would you say is doing a good job at representing melee in a first-person shooter?
You mean in other games right now?
Yeah.
It's tough, man. Like, I'm a huge fan of like the original BioShock. Like, I was a big fan of the wrench and just like
it had
frost,
weight to it. It had like weight to it.
It felt good, and you would like freeze dudes and then smack them with the wrench and they would shatter, and that was like awesome. But
those like the tools category, like the crowbar in Half-Life. It's basically just a bonk, right? And it's like, do you do the bonk or do you go for something more elegant, right?
But those are two primarily single-player focused games. Translating that to a multiplayer shooter, competitive multiplayer shooter, is a totally different story.
It really is. And like, you know, Cliff mentioned Halo, and like the sword in Halo is kind of the quintessential melee weapon in shooters, I think. But obviously we're trying to make it less of a one-shot kill. So
yeah, because in there you have the soft lock and you boom, and that's it.
Well, the thing about the game right now that we're putting together is, you know, if you have different roles can have different health levels, they can have different mobility types. So we have other tools in the toolbox to allow this to be kind of effective. So it's kind of like Halo, you earn it, but you really earn it, right? Sometimes to the point of annoying the shit out of me, like Scott.
Earn504 says Shadow Warrior is a good example of melee and FPS.
Is that a multiplayer or is that single player?
Oh, see, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I haven't played Shadow Warrior.
Well, because they did a reboot recently.
Yeah, they did.
It was like, I don't know if it was still like...
Side note, Brixbury says you guys need Boss Key beer koozies. We have them.
We have them.
Yeah.
Beer towel for the house.
Yeah.
They're actually slap bracelets / koozies, which kind of ties into our crazy weapons, I guess. There's multifunction.
Yeah, so Matt, I mean, I think you have you've had a tall order of implementing like a melee weapon into the game.
Yeah.
And I think you're nailing it. So
But not popping the third person with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, Destiny and a lot of other games now, they pop you to third when you go melee, just because, you get to see your character from a larger vantage point. You can see your surroundings. But for us, we're trying to keep it first person. It's more immersive, and it's kind of our trademark thing. So.
And once you start going third, like getting the camera transitions is a lot of fucking work without it being jarring and disorienting. I just like some people have suggested it. I'm like, no, stay first. Seeing that view of was pretty cool.
Yeah,
totally.
I think it's cool where we've pushed it to be more of like a high skill thing, where like if you're really good with these weapons, you can get a team kill like Cliff did last week, where
I rolled the whole team.
Yeah, I was on the receiving end of that,
and then they
chain killed it one after another.
And then they nerfed it.
Oh, big surprise!
That's why. What does that teach you? Don't do well in the playtest.
Don't team kill in the playtest.
If you like something, save it.
Well, dude, thanks, man. Cool. I think it's interesting to get a look, and especially from the programming end, because I don't think people know how difficult it is to implement something like this, and it's like I said, it's a tall order, man, to do this in a competitive multiplayer first-person game.
It totally is.
Quick final note about it. I mean, like when you're doing that melee swipe, you don't want it to just be a trace like a weapon or a hit scan. You want it to kind of a volume too, and I mean that's just a lot of work too. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff under the hood to try to make it feel good when you actually connect with an attack, and obviously shout out to the animators and the effects artists and everything for really nailing like the feel of swinging the weapons and stuff.
Yeah, I think when the job is done, if somebody kills you with an ability like this, you're like, you earned it.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's
what it felt like today, man. That's what it felt like today.
And when you look at if you look at that kill cam, you're just kind of like, all right, I'll give it to you. Good job, dude. And that's how it should be.
Didn't see it coming.
Yeah. So, Matt, thanks for joining us, man. We're going to look at the actual in-game model with Tramell in a couple minutes. First, or is there anything you want to say to people before you jet?
No. You playing Batman?
No, I've not played Batman.
Too busy working on this game?
In terms of melee combat games, I'm more of like a Ninja Gaiden, God of War kind of guy, and less of a Batman kind of guy.
Yeah. You need to dive in and do not do the stealth stuff.
That's just my thing.
But fair enough.
Yeah.
Follow Matt on Twitter. Tweet him. He's a good tweeter.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So let's take a look at. There he goes. He's out.
He's in his bat cape and the beer.
So let's take a look at. Actually, so I'm going to give this a little bit of background. We did a behind-the-scenes series a little while ago, and it's just now wrapping up production. So I wanted to give you guys just kind of a sneak peek of the behind-the-scenes series that we're working on, and date of release is coming soon. But yeah, take a look.
Behind the scenes for behind the scenes.
Thanks, guys, for sitting down. This is kind of our jam. We can walk over here. We like Raleigh Times. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to sit us down and talk about like creation of Boss Key. Like a lot of people are curious about where did it come from? How did it start?
It's one of those things like I missed making stuff. And it's one of those things I was considering doing it for a while, and then I think I'm one of the luckiest people in the world because the best people just kept fucking falling in my lap. I hadn't actually known that Ardian wound up going over to EA and working on Battlefield and everything, and then he hits me up and I'm like, boom, like, let's do this, and then all these talented people just started showing up. It's like, you look at Scott, it's like, we need, lead level designer, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, I'm done with Valve.
I'm in town for a holiday.
We need somebody who understands Western free-to-play. We're like, and then it just shows up, right? It's just like, I swear, it's part of its luck, right? And, everybody's heads down making something fun because they want to, right? And I think it shows, it's having an attitude of, screw it, we'll make it cool, as opposed to, how's that gonna work?
Like, yeah, I mean, you were at Epic, you went to found Killzone. And, all right, boom. So yeah, that's the behind-the-scenes series that's coming very, very soon. We'll let you guys know whenever that's going to start rolling out. We're really excited. I think there's some cool stuff. Definitely some new things you guys haven't seen before in that.
I have no idea what's about to happen, by the way.
So, Tramell, you need to set this up because this was totally thrown on me yesterday. I was just like, what are you talking about? So
in the office, we always, kind of mess around, trying to find a way. What?
Man. Oh, intern fail. Get the paddle. That's a paddling.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, so we try to find ways, me and Milky, find new ways of getting cream out of people. The ice cream, that is.
Okay, just checking.
And I saw this on Lee's desk. And I was like, oh, man, I was messing around with it. And I was like, oh, I didn't want to.
Is he even old enough to remember that?
Apparently he is. And I was like, man, I didn't want to mess it up for you. He's like, that ain't nothing. I'm like, what? I was like, if I mess this up, you can put it back together? He was like, yeah. I was like...
Taking the stickers off?
No, I didn't take the stickers off. And I was like, bullshit, dude. He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, let's put some cream on it.
So what we're going to do is they have a bet going. So,
Yeah.
So Lee is a Rubik's Cube master.
Apparently he's a master.
Yep, today I learned. And humble.
Apparently he's a master. He was bragging about it, talking about 10 minutes ain't nothing but a thing, so 10 minutes it is.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the actual in-game Taser Machete.
While at the same time,
while Lee is doing this Rubik's Cube.
Live.
And he's got 10 minutes to do it.
This is like Man on Wire. This is crazy.
So hold on. Let me synchronize the timer we got on screen here.
All right, Lee.
Here we go. So Lee, yeah, come over here and grab it.
All right. Well, same time, man. Same time.
No. I mean, he needs to reset before he can start.
Those 2 seconds could count.
Yeah, he's be looking at it. I want it to be legit. This is the Olympic trials.
All right.
There's cream on the line.
Yes,
there's
legit
cream
stuff.
on the line. All right, so here we go. All right, Tyler, are you ready? I'll count it down. Did you click it? Oh, God.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, it's fine.
Go.
All right. Okay.
Watch the mic stand.
There it is.
He's got 10 minutes.
All right.
All right, here he goes.
Okay.
So.
All right, so we've got this in-game Taser Machete we're going to take a look at. Art debut.
Hey.
Lay it on us. Here we go.
All right, come on, Tyler.
Boom. That's in-game.
Yeah, that's our good friend Lee. Rented those
And
out for us in game.
Yeah,
I love the little kind of inlaid kind of detail in there right there.
Yeah.
And this is done by one of our fictional weapons manufacturers out of New Zealand, known as New Wellington Blades and such. And it wasn't just enough to have one; it's two. But if you look at it, they actually looks like double blades.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like quad now.
It's quad bladed, and it's actually charged with energon cubes.
Optimus Prime.
It's got like an energy, stream that goes through it, and then when you strike with them, they give you an extra boost of slicing and frying at the same time.
I mean, makes julienne fries.
I love the amount of detail on that, and like you said, Cliff. So New Wellington is the weapon manufacturer.
Yeah, it's an inside joke. I just wanted to have a weapons manufacturer that can wink at Gabe Newell's fascination with blades. Honestly,
New Gabington.
Exactly.
But you see the insignia there, and every New Wellington weapon in the game has a similar look and feel because they're all manufactured by the same company.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even the company logo right there.
Yep. Logo there. Got the name stamped in there. It's got some tribal tattoo etched in there with the specular.
Little Maori kind of looking thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, like we did a really good job early on, myself and the writer Josh, at creating a lot of who these manufacturers were, and then once we passed it off to Tramell, it's like you can spot in this game which manufacturer makes whatever item. You can be like, oh, that's Belize, that's New Wellington, that's this, that, and the other, right? It's Gleek. Like, this is this one company. This is one of those things with our good partners at Nexon, where they spend lots of marketing dollars to promote this game, they can come up with lots of fake viral videos for the manufacturers.
Or actually real knives that they can give away.
The lawyers might get a little weird about that.
I don't really care about their lawyers. I'm just saying they could create real knives for us to use at work.
And bring to meetings.
Yes. That's how you win a meeting.
The D05 is saying, but does it have a survival kit in the handle?
It might. You never know.
What I think is cool is look at that little red button.
Yeah, that's the details.
What does that little red button do?
Yeah, what does that do?
I don't
Charges
know.
Does it page the flight attendant?
What?
Hold it up!
No! What was the time on that? Dude, what was the time?
2 minutes and 50 seconons.
Oh!
Dominated, man.
The cream, the cream will flow.
No! No! I tripled down on that bet.
You're melting! You're melting!
I lost 3 creams on that. No! Oh.
You know how fast he was going over there?
God.
Dude, you hear the studio? So the stream just caught up with what happened in here. Everybody in the studio watches it, and all of a sudden we just heard everybody go, "Oh,
what the hell?"
Beauty of historic walls.
God. I want to see a replay on that.
What? There's no replay on that. It's right there.
It was cheating. He's had one in his pocket or something.
Exactly. We're too busy talking, and he's like,
dipped down because I wasn't paying attention to him. I think it was a point where he dipped down. We got to go back to the camera and see
my
where he
God.
moved beyond the camera, and then all of a sudden it was done.
I want to know where he's hiding it.
Oh my God!
Lee,
Whatever.
you destroyed, man. You destroyed it.
All
All
right,
right.
what kind of flavors you want? Man? You got to figure out the flavor you want. You got to
It's always the quiet ones that have the hidden skills, dude.
What? Which one?
I'll let you know.
Oh, jeez.
He'll be. Oh, look at that. He's like, I'll let you know.
Man.
I'm getting out of here.
I owe Clockstead and Rife.
Oh my God.
Oh.
It's gonna be like a pint or a quart or
It's
a
a pint.
half
It's
gallon.
a whole pint.
We don't have any freezer room up there.
I know, dude. It's gonna be filled with.
Are you gonna
Dead
have to
bets.
buy it or make it?
It's
Better if you have to make it.
Ah, man.
Yeah, he should make it.
Yeah.
Oh, he said.
What is wrong with
Dude,
you?
he said he should make it.
Lovingly handcrafted cream.
All right, I guess I gotta make it then.
Rubik's
The challenge cream.
Yep. Rubik's cream confirmed.
He earned it.
Good Lord. Good job, sir. Good
Lee,
job.
thank you.
Thank you.
No,
I can't believe that.
you won.
How long did it take him?
2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, that's insane. How does he have that skill?
I don't
Who
know,
holds
man.
that? Who
He
holds
did
that
it.
kind of
I
skill?
mean, he did it.
He never mentioned this in the interview process,
I
but this was
know,
not a
dude.
bullet point on his resume.
That's
Yeah.
part of the. That should be part of the interview questions.
Exactly. Are you good at Rubik's Cube?
No, he just put it in front of him. Just do that.
Yes. That's a programming test.
Just wait. Just wait for him.
Wow. Well, that was fun, man.
That was the most excitement I've had all week.
Oh, dude, Lee crushed it.
Yep.
All right.
He said he would, and I thought he was just bull jiving.
Dude, a man as modest as him, you think he would really be bull-jiving that?
Because
Nah,
who's
dude.
gonna take him up on it though? Seriously, though.
I need a bell. Ding. Shame.
my God.
Shame.
Oh,
Shame.
man. So let's go back to the machete real quick. So, whew. All right.
Man, I hear people out there laughing at me.
Yeah.
The cream must flow. Man, whatever.
So Tramell, this is the final one, right?
Yeah, this is what's
what's
going
in game?
That's what's going in. That's what's in there now. You never know. Design might change something.
The beauty of having the electricity with it, though, is like if we need to do a little bit of a mini stun, if you get hit by it, so a person can finish a combo, it's there for the fiction. If you see somebody coming at you with these glowy, shiny blades, it's very visible.
Good stuff.
This is all part of the plan. Everything exists for a reason.
I was telling Fischman, who was all scared and stuff. Join him at the ends, dude. Dark Maul style, dude.
Talk to the animation department.
Telling you, man. Fischman, make it happen.
Yep.
Make it happen.
So we actually have a couple questions, and we'll transition to your guys' questions. Please let us know in the chat. We're an open book, and for the machetes specifically, Jay as Hell asks, will it actually be viable to go full melee team?
That's actually one of the problems that we're having right now is there's these different kind of ways to play his different positions, characters, classes in the game. And sometimes since being 5-on-5, when people stack all as one, we're suddenly having to deal with 5 explosive characters or 5 melee characters, and how do we balance this, right? So as much as I respect and enjoy the game Evolve, it's kind of like somebody has to be the trapper, somebody has to be the hunter, that kind of thing. I don't want us to go down that path, so that's actually a challenge we're working through right now.
Filippo Bruno asks...
Filippo Bruno.
Yeah, there you go. Very nice. Does the machete have any defensive capabilities, or is it purely a quick offensive weapon? You kind of touched on this. Initially,
You find our weapons offensive?
Initially, there was like a bullet block, but
well, we had that originally. It was a little frustrating, but what we have is what's a good way of putting it? The weapon facilitates increased mobility that allows you to kind of ninja around the level a little bit. That's all I'm going to say.
Right on.
Stabby.
I'm looking here for some questions. Anything else, guys? Please let us know. There was one.
Oh, you missed it.
Oh my god.
Rubik's Cube Easter egg confirmed. Do you know what the legal we'd have to go through for the Rubik's estate to actually clear this whole thing? Like, it would not actually happen.
Hold up. Is the dude who invented it dead?
I'll just tell you, I don't even know if he's dead, but it was obviously Rubik because it was Rubik's Cube.
Maybe he sold it to Mattel or something.
Yeah, for like,
$1 billion.
probably like $500,000 in like 1984. Now it's worth.
They just took advantage of him.
Exactly.
That toy's going
like
nowhere.
Stan Lee.
That toy's going nowhere.
This is a good one. Morphling V2 asks, will the melee weapon take a slot of a normal weapon?
Yes. So here's one thing: is
Okay.
we have a default melee with F, which we're not really talking too much about. That mostly everybody has. It varies depending on the size or shape of the character. But this is kind of its own dedicated slot.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see the functionality of the full weapon, it's really worth its own slot. And one of the things we have to deal with having multiple weapon slots in a game like this is encouraging people to swap between them and to use both of your main kind of weapons in different situations. It's tricky, honestly.
This is a good one. Sequisha asks, will there be a min/max of classes, one each team?
In regards to,
Yeah.
that kind of ties into what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
When we have a team that's stacked of 5. I think a min/max. Well, you can't force a min. Like you can't force somebody to play as a class. That's one of my big mantras has been over the last 5 years is play your way. Except for the year and a half I wasn't working, and I want people to be able to play their way. But at some point we may need to cap. There's maybe certain types of characters where you can only allow a certain amount on every team. We shall see as far as what our initial rollout is, if that's even necessary. Because I don't want to get any weird magic numbers where suddenly people are weaker because the other people playing as the same classes and abilities. That's just lame.
Steve85UK asks, this is a good one for you. What programs were used to make that knife? And I assume it's the last one.
In total?
MS Paint.
So yeah, MS Paint.
Deluxe Paint.
Animator. No. So the model is in Max, and the animations were done in Maya, and I think
Is that the 10 minutes up?
That was the 10 minutes
Oh,
right there.
yeah.
So
He
my
could've
timer
did that
just
like
went
3
off.
times already.
Oh my god! Sorry.
Could have messed it back up.
Yeah,
and
Rubik's
then-
orb.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Max, Maya, probably obviously Photoshop, and I think maybe Quixel or Indu somewhere around there.
Wow, so quite a few.
And lots of photo source. So we use that to kind of like get like different patterns on the grip and things like that. And
I'm just praying we get cosplayers like having this. At,
somebody's
Max.
somebody's gonna build that.
But a soft version of it.
It's easy.
So for my end of things, though, real quick, I think that the stuff that we're making here is so visually intriguing that, it totally lends itself to cosplay, even manufacturing of like these weapons and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it's
So
going to
I'm
be
excited.
funny if we manage to make this game a thing, which we're hoping, and then somebody manages to make this in real life and it becomes full circle based upon the YouTube video that to some extent inspired this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just, the snake eating itself, Ouroboros. Full circle, baby.
All right, guys. I think we can be here all night. Maybe one more. Let's do one more. This is it.
All right.
It's a Pelican asks, will the melee weapon allow for a more Titanfall-like style ability to run faster and maybe maneuver better around the map? It
was actually you're technically still carrying the gun in a game like that, and this goes back to Counter-Strike where. I don't know if you knew, but if you're carrying a knife, you run faster, even if you're still carrying a gun.
Totally.
Apparently. But the thing that Counter-Strike got right was you felt kind of cool. Like, you're like, I got a knife and I'm going fast. It's one of those things, I don't know if we want to do any hacks like that, but like as I alluded to before, there may be some certain things about the weapon that allows you to traverse in an interesting manner and be really annoying like Scott and come in behind me as I'm about to score and completely stab me in the base of my spine. I really appreciate it, Scott. Really.
All right. So that's it, guys. Thank you. Tramell, I'm sorry you got totally beat down.
Cream. Triple cream.
Dude, you got destroyed, man.
Smashed. Pralines and dick.
Jeez. So
Tramell's like,
harsh.
what?
So harsh.
So we will be putting all of the art up on our art station, which we have now for all of our concept.
Yeah,
art.
we got to keep plugging that because every time, like, we have all the art we've basically released so far. If
Yep.
you see it in one kind of like location, it's like, oh, okay,
It's
this
great.
is a world.
So check out our art station. We'll tweet that out. We're going to put it up on our website. Everything that you saw on the show is going to be archived. The stream, the video, everything will be on our YouTube page. Please follow us. Tweet us.
Not in real life.
Yeah, don't follow us.
Flashing your lights in the car, it's weird.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and
Yeah, have a good Independence Day.
yeah,
Hey.
we'll see you.